went to therapy, and my son is with grandma for a few hours, so I figured I would take advantage of having a little bit of free time and come on and do about an hour. So let's go through the charts real quick. Bitcoin is having a nice little rally, up 6.06% or 5.99% to 30,628. It's exactly what we talked about yesterday, but we also have been warning that the volume is crashing. So if we can't pick up a big push in volume, because when we had the crash volume, we had 5,974 Bitcoin sold. Another big thing when it went below 30,000, and I wouldn't be surprised if MicroStrategies and Michael Saylor were up to their tricks again. Their average Bitcoin was around 30,000. I think it was more around 32.5, like I've said, but technically it's around 30,000. So when it busted 30, Michael Saylor, when we get to about 2022, is going to have to margin call. And MicroStrategies is down 80% year to date, roughly. So he's getting absolutely obliterated. And as you know, he's basically a Bitcoin ETF all on his own, and he's getting royally bent over, and his eyes are about to fall out. It's just that bad. So we do have an engulfing candle. We're trying to break over this 30,947. So it's possible we could be topping out here, but at the same time, we've broken out of this downward spiral. It's just that the weekly is coming to an end on Sunday, and I don't know. With this volume crashing like this and not showing any impressive volume, it really looks like a trap is being set right here, big time. So I would simply look at it like this. We're not going to use the overwhelming wick down as the first line of support, or our first wick for our support structure. So that's our support structure, and you can see it formed into an ascending triangle. And if it continues up, like we talked about yesterday, I think any top end would end right around there, because I don't think we can get higher than that. I really don't know if we can get higher than right here, though. These wicks right here, I don't know if we would have enough steam. I don't even know if we'd have enough steam to get past where we're at right now. It's just we have 4-hour volume that isn't great, but the sellers obviously aren't motivated right now. But we had such a substantial drop. Wait a minute, you lost sounds. Can you guys hear me? Because you might have to shut it down and refresh. Can you guys hear me all right? Okay, good. When all of crypto further crashes, will some of the exchanges follow suit on more? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Brian. That's my biggest fear. A lot of these exchanges, thank you guys. I appreciate you letting me know. I appreciate that, because I was just making sure. So, Matt, if you lost sounds, well, you won't be able to hear me, but somebody tell him he's got to restart it if he lost sound. So, yeah, some of them will crash, absolutely. But right now, because a lot of them are over leveraged, what I'm waiting for, and this will bring down a lot of exchanges, and when USDT crashes, when Tether crashes, then we're going to have a huge problem on our hands. And I've been theorizing Tether for a long time. It was only a few weeks ago when I realized Luna was about to crash. I didn't know. You get listening privileges when you join Tom's Army. Absolutely. I didn't know that Luna was going to drop as fast as it did. I did have a target down to 35 cents, and everybody laughed at me. I don't think anybody's laughing anymore, because I said it was going to 0, but the first target was 35 cents after 32. But where did I want to go? Oh, yeah, XRP first. So XRP, this is what I had drawn out. And I think if we had enough steam to get over the 20-day, the problem is look how low the volume is for XRP. We cannot ignore the fact that the volume is this low, guys. I don't care what anybody says. When the volume's that low, these are artificial push-ups, and they're considered a fake out. I mean, I don't have to make this up. You can see it. There is no volume. Now, what I'm going to do is bring out the indicators. Hey, thanks for the 100 bits, Tez. I appreciate that. You guys breaking the cherry already on the donations by Above the Sky at 11 a.m. Just 12 minutes into the stream. 17 minutes in, 2 donations. That's impressive. I do appreciate that. What's even more impressive are the 2 people that joined the T-Fam watching the replay. That's the most impressive thing to me. We have 31 people part of the T-Fam now. It's impressive. Tez, thanks for the other 100 bits. I appreciate that. Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. As you guys know, I'm very easy to please. So, we're going to put on the RSI. We'll throw on the stochastic. We've got the volume. I don't want to put the Bollinger Bands on. I don't want to confuse anything. But you see, in the 4-hourly, we started coming up. In the 30-minute, we still have plenty of room. We're just starting to kind of turn down a little bit. And that's what I was talking about on my update earlier this morning. The problem is here is we're on the top side of the 20-day. So until you pull through this, you're looking okay here in the morning. It just looks like a bull flag. And to me, doesn't anybody else think that it can do this and ride the bull flag up here and hit the drop point retest? It happens a lot. So I said if you want to start layering in when it was cheap, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you to buy. But what I can tell you is when we start to have an uptrend and if we break out of it, what it usually means. The market usually likes to correct, but it also likes to trap people. So I think the best way to trap everybody right now is a good way to trap. But we haven't completed the bullish divergence in the 30-minute time frame, which leads me to believe that we're not just going to get beaten down by the 20-day. We've already come through the 50 and the 100. I believe we've come over to the 200. Yeah, this doesn't change anything, guys. This move up doesn't change the overall breakdown. We're not at $1. We're not at 80 cents. Now we're trying to fight to get back to 52, which is where everybody was happy when we got to originally. Then we got down to 33. And all of these, we talked about how oversold we were and had to have a rebound. Just me personally, like I said, I'm stacking on lobster. I had a tremendous day yesterday. I was up over 300% on several assets. So to trade the traditional crypto market right now while it's tanking, I just don't want to do it. It's just not in my interest right now. I'm not going to pay the taxes in the traditional market when I don't even know if my traditional exchange is going to be around. Even if we think they're going to, we don't know. So what you're watching for right now with XRP, it's this simple. Stay over 44.1 and you're looking okay. If you don't break 44.1 and hold it, like we're already broke it, but if we don't hold it, you'll come back down and retest this broken uptrend ascending triangle. This is what you would retest on the on the break back down if we break the 20-day, and that's about 407. I don't know if that's going to happen because right now we do have a little bit of a bull flag forming, and the technical breakout would be 52 cents on a move up. On a move back down, your technical target would be back down here, but if it ends up coming here, retesting, and then the breakdown happens, then you'd have this double bottom scenario. We're going to come back down in a quick and swift fashion. This just had to relieve itself a little bit. We were so oversold. This happens. This is a natural rebound. Just don't get yourselves caught in a trap. The main parts to buy are exactly where I'm telling you. The 20-day right now, if we can show support, we're going to have one more move up. It's just we have a bearish engulfing candle. So we're trying to get the best price if you're looking for a swing trade. I'm not. I'm looking at the market, and I'm watching it conservatively because I'm doing my other stuff. Like I said. So I've been doing stuff away from the scenes that is going to better me big time. It's just, we're also watching this. This is the downtrend we have to break right now as well. And it's a pretty substantial downtrend. So that could cap any upside, and this could just be an ascending triangle that formed out of here. That's all. So we have to watch this. So right now, the overwhelming resistance on this downtrending resistance on this symmetrical triangle, we can call it from 33 cents, is 46,191. So put on your paper, resistance 46,191. Support is 44,251. So we're working within a few percent. If we fall below the support, we're going to come back down to the ascending triangle. How you doing? Okay. If you break above the ascending support or resistance, then you can come up to that 52 cents, and that would likely cap any upside. But right now we're trapped within a zone. So it is highly possible, guys, like I was talking about, that we can be like this. Resistance all the way here, fell down to support. If we call it a symmetrical support, now we're breaking back up, and it could have started right here. We could say, hey, starting May 9th, we started this symmetrical triangle. The resistance at the top end was 57 cents. Then we got our confirmation at 52 cents for the second hit of resistance. Now we got to hit a support here at 33 cents. Coming back up and trying to hit it again on resistance. Then that would likely bring you back down here, and that could be your double bottom support. But this pattern is trying to verify itself. If it breaks outside of this, your next real chance to buy on a break up would be if it holds this downtrending resistance as support. And then you could ride it up, like I said, to that 52 cents minimum. So that's what we're looking at for XRP. That's the most in-depth I can give you for what XRP is looking like. XLM, we're still within this symmetrical support. And it can actually be moved a tiny bit if you really wanted to. But this is the uptrending area that we had to keep because we kind of forced ourselves into an inside-out wedge. And had we have broke right here, that would have been a catastrophe, and we would have immediately dropped probably to 2.7 in a capitulation style drop. But fortunately for anybody who's still in, because I know a lot of people are, we held that ascending support. We didn't even come all the way down to it, and we actually broke back into the upper section, which leads us to an upper end resistance up here at about 15.1. And unless we break out of that, we have no chance of retesting that 21 cents, which is the much bigger pattern if we pull this out in a wider descending triangle. But I was trying to show everybody that we can absolutely make a push, and that we actually had an ascending triangle forming, and we couldn't break below that, so it actually got moved. But that's how it's supposed to look. We couldn't break below that, otherwise it was going to be a big drop. And for credit for XLM right now, it's actually holding the ascending support. And in the daily time frame, we'll see what happens, but in the 4-hourly, you know, we're reaching an area where we have come on top of the 20-day, but it's the volume, guys. It's that overwhelming volume. We have none. It's that simple. We have none, and once we break this trend, it's going to be a big drop. So this looks like a prototypical J hook that is not going to have much upside. Hey! Super Fat Monk giving out 1 community gift sub. Who got that gift sub? Sale V. I can't wait for him to be in here. He's one of my oldest viewers. He was actually in here in episode 1 in Twitch, and he's been on my YouTube since practically the beginning. So I do appreciate that. Whitey gave out 1 community gift sub. What a holy shit balls. Jams 87 gets that, and I know Jams I think was, no, I don't know if Jams was in here yet, but Jams another real big supporter of the show, so I really, they're both gonna really appreciate that. Wow, thank you so much, Whitey and Super Fat Monk. That's very generous of both of you. I know Whitey got a gift sub yesterday, which was awesome. So to pay it forward is awesome. I love seeing that. One thing YouTube doesn't do is allow you guys to gift subs, which is stupid. Well, a lot of things YouTube doesn't allow you to do. So that's XLM. DGB is forming that same ascending. And see how we kept on the top side of that descending resistance support? We broke back to the top side, and that allowed us to break back up. And right now, it's just like the rest of them, guys. We have this ascending support forming. We broke back into the descending triangle, which gives us a little bit of top on the top end. You know, it gives you a little bit of meat on the bones. But right now, the bottom line is we've got to break this symmetrical triangle that we formed back into. We can even say it's a descending triangle, but we have to break back above it. That's just the bottom line. And you can't break below the support, so we're not going to move it. So that's what we're looking at, which means the top end is probably 1730 if we can break up. So that, I just want you guys to pay attention to that for DGB. Terra Luna is down 79.28% today, and that's a shit show. Absolute shit show. And I know people are trying to make easy money, but my question is, even if you're making this easy money, can you cash out? I don't know. But we're getting close to another topping point here for Luna, and this one might be the one that breaks the camel's back. Because there's not enough room, guys, on this bear flag. How are we going to play out this bear flag? Or this, how are we going to play this flag? There's not enough room. Luna's bankrupt. How can we play this out? That would be so negative. Look at the technical target on Luna. Bankrupt. The technical target on the next move for Luna is bankruptcy. Even if it breaks up, to avoid bankruptcy, Luna would have to come all the way on this bear flag. And this isn't a joke, guys. To just clear bankruptcy, we would have to get all the way up to 1.8 cents and invalidate this bear flag. So I don't know how we're going to do that. Hey, Whitey being even more generous, sharing 60 bits. How about that? What a guy. Candlestick, we can absolutely look at XDC. Hey, we still got plenty of time. It's only been 27 minutes. I had about 45 minutes to share with you guys here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to light my joint as we look at XDC. And guys, can I honestly say it's an honor and a privilege to be with you guys every single day here on Twitch now. As I promised you, I would try to come here 7 days a week, and I have absolutely done my part now. And you guys are doing your part, just showing up. 45 people is tremendous. I know yesterday we got to, what, 64 was the highest we ever got to, but we've been averaging well over 40 in our last few, so that's excellent. We have a long-standing goal to kick Twitch in the nuts and make partner to get to 75 average viewers, so we'll see if that ever happens. But in the last month, it's been tremendous since I opened it up to the public. I used to keep it private for just people I allowed in. But the last month since I opened it to the public, we've gained 100 followers. Make that 102 now because we had another follower and one before that. Dan Vidan, thanks for the follow. You are 281. I really appreciate that. So now let's take a look at XDC. And if guys, if you're new followers, if you don't know, click on my Twitch homepage. Click on the YouTube link. I'm a partner on YouTube with over 10,300 subscribers over the last 14 months. Take a gander there because there's already been an update on there. I do 4 or 5 a day on top of what I do here on Twitch. So make sure you're paying attention to that. So with XDC, what happened is we fell below our ascending support, but what happened is we fell back in. Candlestick, there is a link for my Telegram if you're part of my YouTube, Tom's Army. That's something I do special for my YouTube. I know you are, but yeah, there is. Just send me a message on Twitch. I can send you it after I get done off of here. Yep. Donnie, welcome in. Long time, 6-month member of Tom's Army. Can you believe that, guy? So we have support right here at 4.2. But what I'm going to say right now is XDC is a little behind, and it just started a bullish divergence. Nice 30-minute candle. And no volume-wise, but I'm saying a bullish engulfing candle with no volume, which is devastating when it gets to the top. But right now, I think we have a push-up, and we'll probably come up and meet the market. We have a bull flag. The integrity's holding. It would probably bring us up to about 4.95, 5 cents. Top end potential of 5.3. Nothing major, but we got to likely finish out this bullish divergence unless we get slapped down by the 100-day, which doesn't seem to be happening as of yet. But the volume's atrocious. I fear what's going to happen this weekend or further. But as of right now, we're getting these push-ups. So let me show you what we're looking at for XDC. And XDC is a weird one because we actually have an ascending triangle that formed. So, I mean, I'm going to say it's a symmetrical support right now because we can't afford to break this. But you can see how if I just add this line right here, it could be an ascending triangle. Just coming from here, that's an ascending triangle. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to keep that, you know, flat, and we're going to show you the possibility of what could actually be forming here. This is a distinct possibility. So, let's not get too excited if we can't break this area yet. I'm not saying we're not going to, but if we can't break the area, this is actually the pattern we're built in right now. An ascending triangle. It formed out of the broken pattern. And going from wick to wick and then having 2 points here, we already have a couple hits. So now, if we can break out of this, then we can actually get back into the much larger pattern after this. You know, you can consider it a bear flag, whatever you want. But the wick was so high that we have to acknowledge it. So that's all we did, guys. Look how small that actually is in the grand scheme. It's very small. So then when you break it back into the 4-hourly, you can see, but it's a very small thing that formed here. So we have to be very careful with XDC. It's just, I think, in the 30-minute, if you actually look at it, we have a little bit of room here. And if we can break out of this, we do have a chance. We started a bullish divergence, but with no volume, that doesn't mean a whole lot in the 30-minute. It really doesn't, because on the weekly, we're on bearish divergences, and that's not going to let up, guys. So we have to pay very close attention that these are just wick pull-ups right now. Even on XRP, we have a weekly bearish divergence, and we're about to cross the 100 soon. So right now, you know, we've got 2.5 days to where this still can fall down, and we have to pay very close attention because it's been a very weak weekly bearish candle, and the odds are this is going to end up coming down and retouching this at some point, and it could happen before Sunday if we don't continue up on this trajectory. So Bitcoin's the same way. We had a bearish cross just, you know, not too long ago. So these are the common retests up. And now once this breaks and unfolds, by technical indicators now for technical traders, they can see that we have a weekly cross. Don't kid yourselves. So anybody making fast money here is in trouble if they don't pay attention to the board. We have a weekly cross everywhere. It's not just in our favorite cryptos. Matic's about to have that weekly cross. So what happens on Sunday when this pulls through and we have a weekly cross? So I'm glad you're seeing what I thought I saw. Absolutely, Candlestick. We just have to, oh, you know what? We might have to make a Telegram separate for just the T-Fam, because now it's starting to get to a point where I'm sure people would like to talk outside of this that are part of the Twitch. So there might be a day where that actually happens. I didn't even think about a Telegram for the Twitch. But, hey, Sale, You got donated a gift sub, and I believe you got it from Whitey, if I'm not mistaken. So, Sale, you got gifted a 1-month subscriber. So, that's absolutely tremendous. And I know you appreciate it because you've been a part of this since episode 1. And now we're on 117, I believe. So, Shiba has the same issue. That weekly engulfing candle is huge, but we're, like I said, I feel like we're on a broadening wedge. And once we break this wedge, we would have a technical target of way about where Terra was at its low. So, but in the immediate short term, you can see in the daily and the 30-minute, we've actually created a little bit of an ascending pattern here. But the problem is when you come up in an ascending pattern, it's going to come to die, though. Once we come up to where we need to, this pattern ends. And look, we're getting closer now on all of these. We're just getting closer. That's the resistance on an ascending pattern. And then we don't even have to go by the wick. We can just go like this because this is actually what's happening. So you pull it back a little bit, run it back. And that's what we're in right now. We're in an ascending triangle with downtrending resistance, uptrending support. And as long as we hold this pattern, the top end looks to be up here, and that's what looks like's happening. So about 1520 for Shiba. And that's a pretty big bump up after. That's almost 100% profit. If you're willing to take the gamble on the board. And we talked about the bottom where you could gamble. It's just you've got to be a sophisticated trader. And you got to understand every step of the way where you're going to lock in profits. Right now, I would ride this until it breaks the 20-day. And yeah, it could lose you some profit. But until it breaks the 20-day, we have a bullish divergence. We crossed the 50. We crossed the 100. And now we're trying to cross the 200, which would alleviate us up, alleviate a little more pressure, and would get us all the way up here to 1537. Hey, Taste, thanks for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. Saved you money. I'm glad I saved you money. That's my goal. My goal coming on here is to save you guys money, and that's 100% the bottom line. That's why I grew so quickly on YouTube, because I didn't care about the money, and now all of a sudden I got 252 people paying $9.99 a month to be part of Tom's Army to show the support, because what I've done over the last 14 months is absolutely spectacular. ADA, I'm just going over my list right now, guys, but we'll go through everything else after. I've just got to focus on what I have. So just at the moment, so this is the same thing we talked about, and we built this out for ADA. It's in like what could be shown as the downtrending resistance, but after breaking down, what we formed is an ascending triangle as well. And until we break this, here's the uptrend. So technically, until that uptrend is broken, you can say we got a little more room. The problem is we got smacked in the face by the downtrending resistance that's held in multiple spots. And that's why I think this weekend could be a trap. This is the third area. If this doesn't break up like a bull flag, and if it does, the good news is if this breaks up, we're looking at a push up to about here. So, but if it doesn't, and there's a third point of resistance, that's a big issue, and then we'll just trade within here. It could trade through the descending triangle, but if it breaks this uptrend, there's no doubt to me we're going to come back and double bottom. So, at minimum. Hey, Ali, I appreciate that. Hey, man, this is just the way I'm built. I believe, I've always believed in the simple thing. Never put somebody in a position where they feel like, I don't know, they feel some type of way about themselves where they discount themselves. So in life, I've learned through the years, I'm 38 years old now, but I've learned through experience how to exactly relay what I'm thinking. So even if somebody's the biggest dummy or the biggest genius, I treat them all the same. I act like the biggest dummy, and then I see what other people know, and then if you treat me good, I treat you better. But I always act like I don't know anything. So I can gauge everybody, when in fact I'm usually the smartest person in the room. And that's not to be a dick. That's just, I don't know what happened. The man upstairs got me in a few accidents, fucked up my brain because I have a closed head injury, broke my back. But over the years I was able to absorb knowledge. I have a photographic memory now, and I have abstract viewpoint. So, you know, that's just what I'm looking at. But yeah, we're looking at a pretty nice cup and handle here as well. You know, the problem is are we putting the handle in here, or are we trying to get here? You know, also, if you look at these from bigger points, you could say we're in a much bigger cup. It's just, do we have the broader support from the markets? I don't know if we do. And the problem is, too, and it's great because we see these gains, right? But what everybody realizes now is that the problem is what everybody realizes now is even if you were in here for the Robinhood listing, yeah, you were down 47%, but even now, you're down 24%. So the problem is for everybody who's looking at this and like, oh, we got a pumping market. The majority of the people that are in right now are left over from when we flash dropped or crashed. That's just the hardcore truth. It's great to see that Luna's not down 99%, but for everybody who was already in it yesterday, they're down 80%. For anybody who was down before, they're down 99.9%. So it's hard for me to feel good about some people who might have been able to get lucky. If they can even cash out. Like I said, Luna's been having problems cashing out even when you're in the profit. But some people were able to capitalize and make thousands of percent. Who do you think were those people that were able to actually buy? Not very many people, guys, were buying it way at the bottom, because even if you were trying to put buy orders way down here, they don't fill as easily. And then when you try to sell, it's so hard to sell out of this. And now Luna's market cap and coin is over. They have trillions of coins now because they have no other way of paying everybody off but to now further devalue the Luna. So now tomorrow when we wake up, it'll probably be down another 90% because now it's being devalued as we go along. This whole boost up is because they released a whole bunch of Luna in the trillions so that people could buy it cheaper. There's so many people holding the bags right now. It's disgusting and disturbing. Quant. So glad to be here live for the first time. I'm always working, so I watch all of your returns on YouTube. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm glad you got to be in here too, Kib. And yeah, this will be on YouTube after as well. I started releasing these on YouTube after for the people that couldn't watch lives on here, and it's been tremendous because it gets more people to watch as well. So let's just finish this off real quick because I gotta go because I gotta deal with some family stuff. As you know, it's the middle of the morning, and I'm ambitious, so I wanted you guys to come on and get an idea of what was going on. So with Quant, let me draw this out in a smaller pattern because right now we've got the much wider patterns drawn out. In the weekly, we're in a falling channel, and now we've hit the falling support. Not all of them. A lot of them we hit falling support. That's why I was like, if you want to take a gamble, now's the time. But like, my gamble to everybody was to open up Lobster, learn Lobster, join my Lobster, where I'm an admin that I don't do anything in. But there's a lot of good people that know what they're talking about in the Lobster Academy. I'm just a part of it, and I share stuff when I see it. Consider me an honorary member because most of the people, well, everybody met through Tom's Army. But then they expanded their knowledge and we're on to something fantastic. So that's my challenge to everybody. While the crypto market's in turmoil, learn how to own your own assets. Get away from the traditional exchange. That's what I did in the last 2 months. Now, I can still buy my XRP and XLM. I own some XLM, but I'm using them for trading the assets. But anyhow, that's my challenge to you. Learn how to own your own assets and get off the traditional exchange. Get ahead of the digital flip. So that's what we're looking at. So we're stuck in an ascending triangle. On the shorter time frame in the 30, we look pretty good right now, but Quant's already broke the 200-day. Now, are we starting to top out here? And if this pulls down, did we just sneak in and I'm topping reversal here very quickly? I don't know. So we have to make sure we hold this. We're already breaking through the 20-day. So we need to... Yeah, I mean, here, I'll share it with you guys. We have a Lobster Academy with some great minds in there. Oops. With some great minds in there that are trying to teach. And yes, they might come off a little it's because we've gone through so many people. And once you deal with what I've dealt with, you understand exactly why I am the way I am. So we have 66 people in here now. Wow. So I'm going to share the link to you guys if you really want to deal with this. Just, there's a lot to learn, and you're going to have to embrace it. I know a few people in here have now joined who are in this live stream right now, and it's spectacular. And I've showed you guys a gander a few times of what I'm doing. And it's not because I need to show you it or I'm trying to validate it. It's because I'm trying to teach people. I'm trying to teach people, and what am I doing here? As many people as I can get in there, the better. And I don't know why I went into here. So that's what it looks like. Oh, I did this because I don't care if anybody's like, oh, Tom's just trying to show everybody he's making. I'm not trying to show you anything. I'm trying to show you how it's set up, and I could give two shits if you believe me or not. The other day I showed you it was down to, I think, 5,400. Now it's at 61. But a lot of my assets haven't come online yet. But what I'm trying to show you is, like, I'm buying the gold notes for the UK and Russia. I have them for the US. But I also started buying the Indus ones for Russia. The US I already sold out of at 400% profit yesterday so that I could buy more. But these are the assets I'm starting to pick up. I have the Ripple ETB. I have the Stellar ETP. I have the Algo ETB and Hashgraph. I have File. I have a lot of different things. I have Elon Musk's new thing, Pi. You know, but these are all the digital assets that'll come on. And the only reason I show you is because I'm trying to build knowledge. That's it. If you don't want to join it, don't join it. But there's a whole nother world that's about to come undone. And a lot of people are unaware that lobster and everything. But you have to vet it. And I have one main category I trade out of, in IndusPayments.com. Not Indus Payment. There's scams. So you learn all this. And then when they come on, I buy the assets as they come online. It's as simple as that. So when you buy them at 6 zeros and a 1, and that's as cheap as they can come online. Once it goes to 2, you're up 100%, guys. It's that simple. But you have to find these before they come online. And I have a great group that I'm with. We have a lot of people that are looking at this all day, far more than I am. And now that I understand it, I'm so far ahead of the game, it's disturbing that when I see crypto go up 14%, I don't shake. When I see crypto up 30%, it doesn't bother me now. Because I was up 300% yesterday on a couple of my new assets I bought, which now, or 400% on the USA one, which now allowed me to, on those 1,000, I cashed them out for 4,000, right? And now I can buy 4 different assets for 1,000 XLM each as they come onto the market. That's what I'm doing. I started with $2,000 on Lobster. It's over $6,000 now in a month. And most of my assets aren't even online yet. Most of those you see with the 200 and 300 billion, what happens when those come to the market at 1? I've got several $100,000 worth of assets here that it doesn't even show right now. And I'm not joking. I've spent about $2,500 total on Lobster. Yeah, 8 people did kill themselves about Luna. There's been a lot of activity showing up on unfortunately on Reddit and a few other things. I shared it yesterday, and it's why I do what I do, guys. It's why I started this. I started it for historical record 14 months ago, but as I've come along, I certainly have grown to accept this role because nobody else does it on YouTube. And I want to make sure people are not committing suicide, and I want to make sure people are not having this negative mindset, and they have a way to understand the market before it happens. I'm so far ahead of the market, you guys know it's disgusting. What I've done is absolutely... Nobody loses money who's in my audience if they listen to me. 0. You lose 0. The only thing that you can do is not buy in at the bottoms if you don't trust yourself. So, I'm trying to build you guys. I can't teach you to fish without showing you how to do it. But one thing I'm not going to teach you to fish on is when we're going to collapse. I'm going to do the fishing for you and tell you we're going to fucking collapse. Get the fuck out. That's my job. But your job is to learn when to buy. Based on what I'm showing you. Montegrino, thanks for the subscribing through Prime. I appreciate that. You are, believe this or not, you are a paid subscriber now, number 32. I can't believe I'm saying that on the TFAM. 1 month ago, I didn't even have it opened up for the general public. 35 days after I open it up now, we've had over 100 new people join. We're almost up to 300 followers. And Sale and a few of you other guys know it was private. For how long, Sale? What, 6 months? We had about 35 subscribers in here. We were teaching classes, and then I said, you know what? There's a better way. It's got to be free. I absolved you guys all of your monthly payments, and I started doing it free and said, fuck it. But you guys got to have a big understanding the first few months of how to trade and everything else and set things up. But I love how it is now. Love this. I absolutely love this. Oh, I appreciate that, Montegrino. Much respect for that. Man, you made my day. Welcome in from Germany. Literally, you guys have made my day again. And it's only 11:36. And I know we've gone over the 45 minutes, but this is what always happens. Good stuffing. Subscribe for 1 month at Tier 1. Holy shit balls are we exploding here on Twitch. Somehow I think Twitch is going to one day become my most popular pet platform. Just not by the size of the audience. By the people. The people in here. You guys are more... It's more positive in here, if you guys have noticed. Good stuff, and thank you so much. I can't believe that. And Whitey is Darren. That makes a lot more sense. I should have remembered that. So, we've got that. Now, be lovely Tether, who tried. Tether tried twice now, guys, to show us that something's not right. Something's fishy. Tether dumped when Tether doesn't normally dump. And it came under a $1 stable value briefly yesterday. But Tether had a dump. And it went unnoticed by most of 7% because it pulled up so quickly. But your futures trading account that you trade in Tether, I got a secret for you guys. You know that USDT, that was 20x futures in relation to Luna, because that's how you have to do it on KuCoin? You weren't really going to make all that money on futures trading because this had such a big drop that you were down 6.59% on a 20x trade, which is 120%, which means you very well could have got liquidated even though what you were in was going up yesterday. That's the dirty, dark secret about what happened yesterday. During a lot of these pull-ups, majority of people got liquidated if they were on a 15 or more X leverage during that drop. Even if you're on a 10X leverage, you could have got liquidated if your liquidation price was within that range. So, they are very big scumbags and scam artists on these exchanges. So, we all have to be vigilant. We all have to pay attention. Sorry, guys, I had to get up and walk around because I have a broken back, and fuck does it hurt from sitting down and doing this. I broke it when I was 23 in a car accident. Not my fault. Some guy hit me. But, you know, I still pay the price as if it was my own fault. So, I mean, if we want to try to form some kind of pattern, I mean, it's going to be hard because Tether had a complete dipshit moment. So, that's the short term. I mean, it looks so fucking dumb, but that's what it is. Look how squeezed we are, too, on the moving averages. This is the sign we're about to come down. I feel like after this happens, look how Tether's volume is just... Look how it disintegrated. We broke this very long uptrend, too, that I talked about for a very long time. And it's not like it was a huge uptrend, but we needed to maintain that from May 4th. But the big uptrend... Look how long this uptrend maintained on Tether. And I'm not kidding. This was one of the bigger uptrends that we had on the board until it broke. And we don't want to go from here, but we can absolutely come from here if you want to. Because that's actually pretty accurate. But I have a better way of doing this too. So that's one of the uptrends. Because I didn't use this part. I used right here as our second point of contact to give it more room to work. But then if you want to do it in the more traditional sense, you come from right here on the W reversal. And, like, this isn't even a real uptrend. That's the thing. Like, I was trying to tell everybody, we kind of broke out of it to the downside right away. So, I mean, I don't like using that one because but if we come back here, this was all the way from 2019. So, we hit it here, maintained it here in 2021, maintained it here in 2022. Now, all of a sudden, yesterday, what happened? We didn't exactly break it 100%, but we're starting to test it now. And all I've been saying is we can't break this. If we ever break that uptrend that's been going on for that long... Hold on, they're collecting, I don't know. They're doing the garbage behind me, so... Like I said, we're a working district. So, if we ever break this pattern now, this short-term pattern, it's going to be a big problem for Tether, and Tether's going to be the next collapse crypto. And there's not a lot of volume coming in for Tether now, as you guys can see. It's astounding. Absolutely, Jan. Absolutely. Oh, good stuff, and you're Joel. I'm going to remember this eventually. It's just like I've got so many people on YouTube in here now that I keep fucking crossing the lines. So, Joel, I should remember that eventually. And give me about 6 months and I'll remember. I blame my closed head injury. I can remember everything charts, everything numbers. But for some reason, names, I do have a good memory with names. It just takes a second sometimes. Algo. Can't get out of here without Algo. It's absolutely respected this ascending triangle we drew in until we had to get above. And look what happened. Right when we pop back above it, this is what happened because that's the uptrending support. You stay above it, you can stay bullish a little bit. We still have a little bit of move left, it looks like. So, And it makes sense, because if you layer in the next short-term pattern here in the 30-minute with the evidence we have around us, you can do this now because we have the proof. So that's what we're trying to break over. And if you get some support over that and you see the X marks the spot, so it works out perfectly. But you just start adding to the pattern as it goes. We've got, and I wanted to do IOTA real quick too before I had to leave. Because IOTA also made the same type of pattern. And now you have a little bit of proof that we are in an ascending triangle. And this can actually expand way out here too, but I don't want to keep it expanding. But we could very well be in some kind of huge pattern like this right now. But we have an uptrend that we must maintain in IOTA. And I want you guys, if you're paying attention and you're in IOTA, you're looking to trade or are trading in the short term, you always make out these 30-minute time frame patterns so that you know your support line. You have to do this. How else are you going to know when it first breaks that line of support? Make sure you get your points of contact and don't fuck it up. So that's right now. If we maintain that uptrend, we can continue going up. So that's what I got for you guys right now. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm glad we got to do 54 minutes here. I'm going to smoke this joint. I'm going to grab a water real quick, and then we can shoot the shit back and forth for a few minutes if you want. Give me just a minute to do this. We'll just put a little bit of soothing music in the background. No heavy metal today, nothing like that. But we'll play. Can't wait for summer either, but this reminds me of Billy Madison. If any of you watch that from the 90s, oh my fucking god, I love that. But this reminds me of when he was doing his little schooling thing. Super Fat Monk, I actually don't teach the classes like I used to. I actually switched all to doing it for free, my man. So I don't want anybody to have to pay monthly anymore, so I switched all my stuff to free, even the classes. Like, this is basically my class now, and if you ask me questions, I'll teach you along while we're doing the Twitch. It's that simple. All you gotta do is ask, and I'll try to teach you the best I can as we're going along. I know, I seen it was on Netflix. It's so awesome with all Billy Madison, or with all of Adam Sandler stuff now. Donnie, we can definitely help you. Real talk. Oh yeah, I will. I'll show you my grow. I have tomatoes that I'm planting this weekend. I have some cucumbers. I have a few other things as well. I'm starting pumpkins for Halloween already because last year I did it too late and they were real fucking small and some of them didn't even grow. But I just moved in here last year into this house, so I had to scope everything out. But I do I'm gonna share all of that. I'll show you guys my stuff when I'm growing my pot across the fence line and all that good stuff. I know everybody's leaving because the stream is ending, but this is just our few minutes to shoot the shit. Let me turn the music off. I also cannot wait for Christmas either. But like I said, I want to thank everybody real hard because you guys are awesome. And yeah, I'm smoking. It's a White Widow mixed with wedding cake and gelato. Gelato number, I don't remember what number it is. But it's 26% THC, but it's also got about a nice 0.008% CBD in it, so it's good for the old back. The DXY, I do believe it's going to continue higher. It's going to have some kind of move down, though, to test this uptrend. It could, it's already come way up. There's no guarantee that it has to come up to my target of 106 and 120. That's just a capitulation to go up to 120. But with what you see in the U.S. economy, there's no way they can let this come down yet because it's hiding the inflation. We have a rather large uptrend on the support, which is very clear to see. We have an uptrend as well. And yeah, White Widow is one of my favorite strands by smell. It might not be one of the more potent, but it'll get you where you need to go. But when you mix it with wedding cake and gelato, oh baby. I got some aloe too that I'm growing as well. I'm glad somebody mentioned that. It's real small. Yeah, me too. Hold on. Let's see if I remember Good Stuffings. Good Stuffings is... Joel, I also am growing aloe vera for the skin. That's Joel, right? I hope I'm not messing you, hope I'm not messing that up. Yeah, Candlestick White Widow. Gelato 41, that's it. That's it. Thank you, Ali. Oh my God, it's my favorite gelato strain too, and it just happened to be mixed with White Widow and wedding cake. Blue Dream is one of my top strands as well if I grow it. A lot of people can't grow it properly and it ends up this shit. And it smells like a rotted blueberry or something with the people who can't grow it properly. But when I grow it, it's not meant to be big. It's not meant to be yield a lot. You might only get a couple ounces on a plant, even if you're growing it forever. Super Fat Monk, how do I learn to recognize patterns? Well, in general, I can put things together before they're done. So if you're looking at a puzzle or any kind of thing, when it's unfinished, I can put it together in my head. My brain just keeps the picture. But I started reading on all the formations, and I started staring at them on Google for like 3 years ago. And I'm being serious. You know how people read the Wikipedia? I basically read the Wikipedia for patterns. And I started to look at them until I could form them in my head. And what I mean by that is this pattern you see right there, or everything that's out here, what I'm seeing, I don't have to draw it down, I just see it. So right now, in this, I see a pattern breakout here because here, I'll show you. We broke a descending resistance, an uptrending support, and this is what I'm seeing in my head when I first turned this chart on. And we broke this pattern. Whoops. We broke out of this pattern, and now we had to back test, which we haven't technically done yet. But if you start to be able to see this in your head, this is what I'm seeing, and then I just walk it back after I draw it. So in my head, I seen this. I see this pattern right when I put this on. But I also see a breakout. You know, even if you go from up here, you can see the breakout. The only thing I don't see is a back test. But what I also see is that this is just a much smaller part of the pattern. And the larger part of the pattern, we fell out of a rising channel. And now we're just back testing the uptrending support as resistance for the first time. You know, so it's a huge problem. But yeah, I studied all the patterns on Google. I kept reading it over and over and over until I could remember it in my head. And then when I would close my eyes, I could see the pattern. And once I have that, it's photographic memory for me. And I never forget. I don't forget anything. So when people say shitty things to me, even 14 months ago, I remember. So some people are like, I don't know why you treat me the way I do. It's like, well, I still remember the first day when you treated me like a complete douchebag and you never treated me properly. So I don't forget that shit. But at the same time, the people who treat me good, I never forget. But guys, I gotta go. I will upload this above this guy to, I will upload this to YouTube right now. Stay blessed, everybody, and I will see you hopefully tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You heard me correctly, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.